The following is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.
You are listening to the 1420 Sports Bar Podcast. 4 beer with a sports talk and a whole lot more. We are part of the Belly Up Sports Network. Listen in as Brent and Dave invite you to belly up to the bar with them to talk about everything in the world of sports, just like you would do at your favorite watering hole. It's sports, beer, and shenanigans, so belly up to the bar with us, grab a beverage, and let's get into it.
The 1420 Sports Bar Podcast, episode number 356 on this 14th day of December 2023. Tonight's show, as always, is brought to you by SeatGeek.com and the SeatGeek app. Use promo code 1420POD over there at SeatGeek.com today and save so $20 on all your ticket needs. Get some tickets for the holiday season, stocking stuffers, or just flat-out tickets. Remember, we are part of the Belly Up Media Network. Go to bellyupsports.com for all their great sports articles and other podcasts, such as the Captain Lou Extravaganza, which I was on his Lou's show last night. We're talking all things. I like talking to Lou. He's a good old guy from out there in Michigan, so make sure you check that one out. And thank you from all of us here at 1420 World Headquarters for supporting our show over this 3.5-year venture. We've been on for quite some time here. Dave, geez, Murphy, I'm a week away from moving headquarters. Things are rocking and rolling. Not much left on the shelves here. I envy a guy like you, like nobody's business. You've been in your house for a very long time, and I'm sure you're settled in, and you don't foresee yourself having to get a box to pack stuff up, because I don't think, for one, you want to, and two, I don't think that your wife wants to either. You guys are settled in, and it's not that you if the offer wasn't there. I just don't think. I think you know, as what your business is, moving, it absolutely sucks.
Moving's an absolute fucking drag. And, it's one of those things, you could pay somebody to do it, but that can add up. And the more you do, the cheaper it is. And you know that yourself. And that's why you do all the work beforehand, because packing and taking stock, and like, we haven't fucking used this in 20 years. And then, like, so you have your keep, your maybe, your let's fucking toss this or give it to Goodwill pile. Do you have a toss it to Goodwill pile?
I do, but Deanne goes through that and says, I might use this someday, or this is this is a memento, this is that, this is holy fuck. Why do we need this? It took me till 5 minutes in to use the old F-bomb here, so we just got off YouTube.
Then why are we blowing, if you want it or need it, why are we blowing the fucking dust off it?
Yeah, we had, so we've been in this place for 3.5 years, 4 years now, yet we haven't used it once. You never even knew it was there. I could have thrown it away. If we were staying here for the next 25 years, I could have thrown it away. You'd never have known. But now that it's out in the open, all of a sudden you have a hankering for some potpourri. Jesus, bad. No, we don't hate each other yet, but it's getting to a point where we dislike each other a little bit at times throughout the day. It's fine, the holiday season, which is, I wouldn't say it's stressful, but you had to move in there. It's she gets we get a little bit anxious, I guess is one way of putting it.
At times you might need a couple minutes apart, I'm assuming, at this thing. Well, figure it out. Like, you tell me what to pack, you tell me what to bring down, and I'll do it, sweetheart. But I don't think we really need this. And
well, it's at a point now, like between Christmas and New Year's, once the family leaves, there's going to be an opening of the box. I said, I'm taking this in this house once. I'm not bringing it back outside. If it's staying in the garage, it's going that way. If it's going in, that's fine. But I'm not back and forth and things. This is our chance to maybe liquidate the assets, I guess, is what streamline things a little bit. Like the house we have here now has 4 burners on the stove. The one we're going there to now has 4 burners on the stove. I don't know why we need 9 frying pans. I have no idea why. Like, it makes no sense to me.
Yeah, you're right. It's okay to donate a couple of those. I myself like the cooking stuff. But we, over the years, have replaced pots and pans, and like, do we ever use this? Do we ever use this? No. I think, we've done it with the kitchen utensil drawers, where the tongs and ladles and all that shit is.
You can't even shut it here, Dave.
A
14
year ago,
sets of tongs, man.
A year ago, I completely hear you. I don't know where the fuck it even comes from, because I do 80% of the cooking. It's like, where the fuck is all this shit coming from? The store is so fucking packed. Can't find anything, brah. And you
Chip
have a little
clippers and this and that and the corn stuff. It's like, holy, what did you things to crushed garlic and Tommy DeVito family? I don't know what's going on. I don't know.
We're not making cutlets every night. You know, like, did you see that thing with the DeVito family doing that?
I did. That's kind of why I kind of segued into that on purpose there on Monday Night Football there.
But what self-respecting Italian family has a bowl of fucking thing of ketchup on that table?
No, that's not sauce. That's ketchup. I don't know what was going on there. It's not flavor. It's and the DeVito family. They're not like I think they live like 12 miles from MetLife Stadium out there in Jersey, and they're kind of folk heroes all of a sudden around there because they're winning football games. The Italian community out there, and then now this agent guy. I don't know who this guy is on the sidelines tonight with his fedora on, the whole bit, looking like he was a cheap ripoff of a guy from either the Jersey Shore. I'm missing the Jersey Shore guy in The Sopranos, I guess. And they show the picture afterwards of him on the phone on the sidelines there, and they said he was his agent. I can't believe that, but there is no way that phone was connected to anything. That guy's Fido minutes ran out 3 weeks ago. Like, there's no way he was talking to anybody on that phone call on the sidelines. He was just like, look how cool I am with my JC Penney fedora on. Like, just
well, it's almost like I think when I saw that thing, I thought my cousin Vinny. Oh, you need an agent? Oh, I got. Call your cousin Vinny.
I got a guy. I
got a guy. You know, and
one of those Jersey things. I got a guy. Everybody's got a guy.
You know, it's hilarious, and it becomes a thing where the stereotypes for the Italian, the New York Italian community, and they're just giving us so much fodder. Like, are we allowed to make fun of New York Italians? Is that just kind of thing, or just all Italians in general?
I think we'll have to ask Jim, the fan of the Van Plotner there. We'll have to ask him what he thinks, because he's. Well, yeah, he's there. So you wonder if I'm Ukrainian of Ukrainian descent, Ukrainian Scottish descent, and people can make jokes and whatever about that. I mean, we shouldn't joke about the war, but say that's a whole other story for another day. And you're of Dutch descent, and so if when Ukrainians if I didn't say that, nobody would know. Like, they say fucking Polak or whatever. Like, yeah, okay, whatever. But there isn't really a stereotype for North American. I don't know how this became a history lesson or a biology or sociology lesson, but with Italians, they make it quite easy for not to make fun of, but to perpetuate the stereotype, I guess is one way of putting it.
Yeah, without a doubt. Like, you know, like it's serving chicken cutlets, living in the basement, good old boy, and like pinching on the cheek,
and then doing the salt on the thing,
and the hey, what's the matter, you? Hey, or whatever the fucking thing.
Whatever. Like, fuck.
Hey, what's the matter, you? Hey, guys on.
I mean, our Italian accents aren't the best, but yeah, it's just, I don't know. Like, I think if you do, if it's not racism, it's content, delivery, and intent. Right, like,
everybody's having fun with it.
I'm not hurting Jim, the fan in the van, by poking fun at the Italian guy who are feeding the stereotype. Like, we wouldn't be talking about it if they weren't feeding the stereotype. And stereotypes are stereotypes because they're stereotypes, right? Like, it's what it is. Like, we're not making fun. We're just talking about what they do to make it a stereotype. No,
exactly. But you know, it's saying, and I like it, but I fucking like it. I like stereotypes. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is because this is just an Italian thing that has been perpetuated through all our lives. Like Italians. I have John Mantello, who was a guest on our show. Yeah. They're all like, the Italians seem to be all New York Yankee fans, and they all speak a little bit of Italian. And then so it's just like, but it's just the perpetuating of a stereotype is just something I really find funny. And I'm really pursing my words, and there's a lot of other things I want to say right now, because what if it was this group? What if it was this group? Are we allowed to laugh and have fun with it?
Well,
Like,
I think once, and this is just.
Are we allowed to laugh and make fun of it?
This is it's not a woke thing. It's not an anti-woke thing. But I think once you start, and I think this is something that we've done throughout our lives. And I'm 49 years old. And so throughout my lives, it's like, once again, it's delivery, intent, and content, right? And if it's skin tone, if you start crossing skin tones, that's where it might start crossing lines. Does that make sense? Like if you're a Caucasian, you're Caucasian, so you can kind of, all right, whatever. It's when you start crossing skin tones, that's when the intent might be delivered differently or perceived differently. Not because everybody's intent, not everybody, most people's intent isn't to hurt, but the reception might not be taken the same way. Like if there was an Oriental guy that Jeremy Lin, let's go Jeremy Lin.
Asian, not Oriental.
Back in those days, like the Asian guy that played for the Knicks years ago.
Yeah.
We wouldn't be making the same jokes with the Asian guy as we're making with the white guy, right? Like,
I hear you. And in our days back in the thing, like, I've thrown some Ukrainian jokes your way, and I've been a recipient of ridiculous amounts of Dutch jokes.
Yeah.
Over my days. And you know what? And I took it with it. But it was just sorry. I don't want to get this. I don't want to bring it this way. But and is that just a white privilege thing? Like, we just happen to be white, but you wouldn't know it unless we knew. Like, when you look at you and I, you can't say your heritage Ukrainian, you look Dutch. I don't know. You're just a couple of white guys that are allowed to make fun of each other because you've been doing it for 50, 60 years.
Yeah,
like you're like our parents.
Brent and Dave. I don't fucking know what the fuck they are.
I don't fucking know, and I've never said that stupid Ukrainian, and you may have said that stupid.
I think Deanne did today when we were doing things about moving there.
But she's Greek.
She's Greek, so whatever. It all evens out in the end. Anyways, it was news kind of got leaked. I don't know if it's been officially let out yet, but Bill Belichick is looking like he's on his way out. It was decided about 3-4 weeks ago already. It's got let out earlier this week. Whether he is true or not, it was probably first reported here, probably about week 3 or week 4 of this season. For the New England Patriots, that Bill Belichick was probably on his last leg, and he might be getting a gift certificate to join Robert Kraft at the Orchids of Asia to go out on a retirement tour. Is it the right time to go for Billy Belichick? And I think I know your answer is like yes, but would you like to see him maybe step on a football team aside? Let's put Belichick's legacy behind him. He has not the right, but he's got a kind of a right to say, can I go out on my terms? But on a football team side, Dave, should Bobby Kraft and maybe the GM say, let's see what we got this year. Let's see what a new coach might be able to do. If we got some guy in the back that we've been, I don't want grooming's the wrong word. We've been grooming to be the head coach for a few years now. Let's put him in here. The season's lost. Let's send Belichick out on the highway right now and have a ceremony later on and see what we can do for an interim head coach.
Absolutely not with an interim head coach. Absolutely not. That guy has delivered a ton to you. You know what? 6? So Tom has says it. So 6 Super Bowls. That's unprecedented. It really is. Like no other coach has done what he has done. And then at the end of the day, it deserves a conversation. In fact, I think the conversation might have even been like it's Jones. Zach Jones is the quarterback they drafted and then I would imagine even after last year, he had can you make it work with this guy? Can you make it work with this guy? And I think Belichick would have said yes. And now after 8 games this year, the conversation was had. You can't make it work with this guy.
Mac Jones.
We're not gonna do good. We're gonna get draft picks. Do you have it in you for another 5 years? And then who do you want? And then and just this is Bobby Kraft talking to you, Billy B. Like, don't fuck me around, because next, don't make me fire you. If you have it in you, I trust you to rebuild this staff, rebuild this franchise, rebuild the product on the field. But if you don't have it in you, shoot me straight, because I'm not, like, I do not want to be the one to come and say, hand me your keys. And I think that's what it was. I think Bobby Kraft and Billy B have that respect for each other. And, you know, Belichick's what, 70 years old himself. And you know, on College Game Day, did you see him putting on that Navy hat and joking and making fun and having a good time and really being witty and a nice guy that you want to hang out with? It was weird to see him like that. And then maybe Belichick himself is saying, like, you know, maybe I've lost a bit of the fire and maybe I don't have it, because he's such a control freak and he understands what it takes. He understands what he doesn't have. And maybe it's time for me to step away.
And it's got to be a bit hard for a guy who built something, because he was around the league a little bit before he got the Patriots job, and it's been a thing that it's got to be hard for a guy to step away no matter what when you've got a championship. And now the glory days they're slipping away pretty quick. And said this before, that sports fans
slipping away, they're in the rearview mirror, man. Like
sports fans have a pretty short memory, right? Like that last championship was all of a sudden 3, 4, 5, 6 years ago, whatever it was, and it's. People are like, fire Belichick. When you're at the top of the mountain for that long, and then that same fan base who was patting you on the back all these years, now kicking the ass and getting your ass on the way out, it's only 3 feet, right? And it's got to be a bit of a kick in the pills. Like, I wouldn't be upset, because he's got a lot of Benjamins he can put his head down every night, and it probably doesn't bother him a whole bunch. But you must be thinking, maybe I should have stepped away when the getting was good. You know, like, it's just. But everybody holds every athlete pretty much holds on for too long. Not many don't. I can't think of any who really have it.
Right. But like, for him, like, you know, so it's not me, it's you. It's not me, it's you. It's not me, it's you. And then after now 4 years of Tom Brady being gone, and it takes your boss to say, like, you know, are you sure it's them and not you? Because it might be you. Because shit ain't getting better. In fact, it's actually getting worse.
Like, it might
we know it's worse because look at the record.
It might be, and he's a GM now too, right? Because when they were winning all the time, he wasn't GM as well, and it's like he was for the last couple of years. But maybe, like, it's got to be tough. Like, you look at guys who just are, because they're lifers to be an NFL, for any coach, any sport. Like, you look at baseball guys. There's some baseball guys.
Well, any occupation, right? Any occupation.
But you look at some guys are around for 50, 60, 70 years. And all of a sudden, it's not working anymore, right? And like, in college, guys stick around for how long? And all of a sudden, it's like, well, fuck, we stink. Like,
especially when you're a tyrant. And I wonder if Belichick thinks about this. He has no coaching tree. Anybody that was an assistant under him has failed spectacularly. Like Patricia in Detroit, Josh McDaniel twice. That fat bastard that went to Notre Dame way back, and
Charlie Weiss.
Charlie Weiss, yeah.
Charlie Weiss got paid a lot of money by losing the football game on the Bush push, and he got paid a lot of money after that game. That's true story.
Oh, no, for sure.
He was all of a sudden, this guy's going to be the coach of the future for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. We're going to win championships. And that contract was signed after the Bush push game. You're like, they lost the fucking game. Like, it was crazy to me. Yeah.
It is, you know, and like, so his, like, but he has no coaching tree at all. And I think that's what happens when you're a bit maniacal and a micromanager, right? You control everything. And then once you get to his age, you can't control everything anymore, especially when you have former assistants and OCs going someplace and failing someplace else, you know, like, because they don't know what to do because they were told what to do all the time.
Yeah.
And you're now bringing new guys in to be told what to do. And you just don't have the fucking time, the strength, the energy, and you're not used to telling them what to do all the time because they knew what to do all the time. Right.
Especially,
So
it's crazy. Like, and you hate to be, and I couldn't imagine Bob Kraft having to have that conversation because
he didn't want to.
Right, Kraft has he owes a lot to Belichick and Brady. Obviously, it doesn't owe them anything, but he owed, like, not physically, but sentimentality. He owes them a lot, right? And we wouldn't know. Like, I'm not the biggest connoisseur of owners. So when you know an owner, the team must have won. So how many owners across the NFL do you know? Right, like in the big picture of things, we know more than we should. But Bob Kraft, we know his name because, well, one, the Orchid of Asia, but two, his teams won. His teams won, so he wouldn't have the same notoriety he has without Bill Belichick, and that's just factual.
Right, he owes him. Like you said, right. At the end of the day, Bill Belichick is his employee. But his employees, like specifically Bill and Brady, have delivered him such international fame, right? Like, it's not just like everybody knows who Bob Kraft is, and everybody knows he owns Gillette, right? It's Gillette Stadium, and there's Bob Kraft with his white collar and blue shirt, red tie, with his 28-year-old girlfriend beside him. Right. Like, like he's become a thing, and that was delivered to him. And you don't become a billionaire without being a bit of an egomaniac. But now the shine is coming off, and they're like, it's not like that people are making fun of you like they have been of Jerry Jones for the last couple of years. But it's like, this isn't what I signed up for. This isn't what you have delivered me over the last 15 years. And I'm not saying we got to win every year anymore, but this 2-10 shit is unacceptable. And that's where you have brought this franchise.
And it's and you're the GM, you're the guy, you're the builder of this thing. We lost our star, obviously, but now this one's actually on you. Yes, we end up with too many good players too, and that's a problem with salary cap leagues, is that you have so many good years eventually catches up to you, like you talked about, like the Detroit Red Wings. For years and years, they had, like, they won the 3 Stanley Cups, I think it was. Then they were great. Like, they were great, make playoffs every year in, year out. And then they're shitty and then they're shitty, and then they're shitty, and it's like, okay. So then they asked Ken Holland to take a lap, right? And so it's time to go. And then Babcock, he took a lap, and then, like, it just how it all worked out. Now they're coming back, but it took basically cleaning house to say, let's get back to I hate to say this, like, because it's stupid, but the Patriot way of doing things. But you can't get the Patriot way of doing things, because the Patriot way of doing things was the Belichick way of doing things. So you have to rebuild.
There is no history pre-Belichick.
You have to rebuild reinvent your entire franchise. And there's no minor leagues in fucking in football to give yourself a chance to do that. Like, your team is your team. Like, you don't have a fucking minor league team say we can build through the minor leagues. We can build a system. We can put a guy in AA Wichita who can teach you how we want you to play football. No, every game that gets played matters, right? It's not like you have the AHL. The parent club doesn't really care if the team wins or loses. It's about player development. The NFL doesn't have that. Right, and baseball's even worse. They could care less what the Tallahassee Mud Hens record is. They don't give a shit. Make sure that this prospect is getting better. Make sure that these guys, if we're a base stealing team, make sure they know how to do this, and on it goes. But football doesn't have that. So building up that what your team mentality is and what your team identity is. New England might be in a situation now where, because Belichick was at the helm for so long, it's going to take a while to build up a new identity of what you are as a franchise.
I agree, because they kind of sniffed with this Zach Jones, and it looked like he was, but he's not. And is it all about quarterback? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know fuck all about that team. I really don't. But obviously the quarterback isn't working out for them. Their defense seems to be quite stout, but like whatever's going on, and that was always Belichick's thing. He was a bit of a defensive guy. What's going on in the offense, it ain't fucking working at all, and that is clear as day. The other coach I'd like to talk about is like, when do the Rooneys sit and have a talk with Mike Tomlin now?
Yesterday.
Because I gotta guess it's the same thing. I don't like giving Ben Roethlisberger any credit at all, and we all know that. But since he left, never had a losing season, and we talk about that in the NHL all the time. You know what? That's awesome. Now you get to pick number 15, right? So you don't get your magic players, and then I understand, but the simple fact that everybody wanted to blame Matt Canada for all these problems about what's his name, Kenny Pickett, and then now that Kenny Pickett isn't good at all either, and then they have Trubisky, which we all know has the talent but doesn't have the fucking toolbox, and then you do shit like this TJ Watt's shit with the concussion on the weekend, and Mike Tomlin totally abdicating any responsibility for even understanding that. Oh, I didn't even realize that he changed the tint on his visor, and no one told me. I don't know that to be untrue, but it seems to me a little curious if your single best player on the team should be in concussion protocol, and it's now playing with a tinted helmet.
I've said this before, how everybody, like NFL head coaches, talk about how great they are. My system's this, my system that. I run this operation. My system's this. I'm the guy. I'm the guy. Roar.
Everything runs through me.
Pound their chest. And that's college football, high school football. Every football coach, right from fucking Pop Warner, right to the fucking NFL. Every head coach, everything runs through me. I know what's going on with my team. I know what's going on with my players. Okay, then why is he playing?
Yeah,
why is your team so bad? Like, you can point fingers all you want, but if your system don't work, that's the head coach. The head coaches sit on who gets drafted. Like the GM, the scouts, But at the end of the day, they say the head coach, because he's supposed to know everything. Why do you draft that guy? He's terrible. Kenny Pickett is not going to be an NFL quarterback. He's not.
No, and then the fact that everything got blamed on Matt Canada, the OC. Like I don't, whatever. Like, because if you listen to us, you know my feelings on the Pittsburgh franchise. But I always heap praise on Tomlin. This is the first time I'm going to actually throw that guy a little bit of shade. The fuck's going on here, man? You got ridiculous infighting, which has happened before with Antonio Brown and Le'Veon Bell and Chase Claypool and whatever. It's happened before, but he's always managed to
But success masks issues, right?
Yeah, and he was able to manage the egos, but now it's not about egos anymore. I don't think the talent is on the field, and now you got all these pissy pants all over the place. And finger pointing,
but that's right across the NFL and the NBA. We saw a little situation there last night. But the NBA's got prima donnas everywhere. But it's going to a lot of sports that the prima donna athletes now you have these old school coaches, and I don't know what to do, right? So because now the younger coaches seem to be having more success throughout sports, baseball as well. Whereas the younger guys, the more progressive thinkers, the Zen like guys, like right, they have a little
like
more,
Steve Kerr.
Yeah, and they have a little more. They're not grizzled X and O's guys. They're managing personalities more than they're managing teams. And it seems to be happening a lot more. If you don't have success, then these bad attitudes of these athletes is coming out more and more.
And it makes me wonder again, like, we talk about it all the time with today's athlete coming up, that is, regardless of the sport, they're more talented skilled and fit like the actual product themselves as an athlete that they're bringing to the table cannot be matched. But then it's a team sport. And then how do you drive a team, right? Like, how do you drive a team? How do you get everybody to get on the same page, row in the same direction, and then and have someone just say fuck you then. Fuck you. If you don't want to be a part of this team, I don't give a fuck if you're making $100 million a year. I don't give a fuck if you're making $100,000 a year.
Yeah.
Find some pine, because that's the thing I can do.
Well, you saw National Hockey League a few times this year with Laine got benched in Columbus. You had Huberdeau getting benched in Calgary, and the list is longer than that. But yeah,
at the end, so are you?
I'm not and because coaching they get rid of no matter what. Craig Berube he won a Stanley Cup 2019, right? And they got rid of him yesterday. So coaches have a lifespan. They have to win every fucking game. And for some fucking prissy little athlete to say, you know what, I'm having a bad day, or I don't like this guy, or I don't like you. You know what? I'm not going to lose my job, you little prick, because you're having a bad day. You know what? I have a lot of bad days as a head coach. I have a lot of bad days as a general manager. I have a lot because I have to deal with all you fuckers. And then plus the minor league system, plus an owner barking down my fucking neck. So you know what? If you don't like how we're doing things, you can just fuck off and stay fucked off. That's how I deal with it.
Is it possible? The NHL is the one I can speak most knowledgeable about. Is it possible to win a cup with 3 lines of second liners? Just grit grinders. No superstar. But just someone that's gonna fucking put a shoulder in your chest.
If you had a top-notch goaltender, which is only about 4 or 5 in the league right now, if you had a Vasilevsky, or if you had a Hellebuck out of Winnipeg,
or Krzyzewski, or whatever that is,
out of
the Rangers,
New York, if you have a top-notch, because there's only, like I said, there's only 4 or 5. The rest are pretty mediocre, and then there's some.
And then just have a team of $4 to $6 million players.
Yeah, I think you could.
No, $10 million. I think you could win a cup as long as everybody is on the same page, right? It's a team of players, right? The sum is greater than the parts.
Well, last year was the first year Stanley Cup was ever won that had a team with a $10 million guy on it. So there it is, right?
There was no $10 million guy on Vegas?
Jack Eichel was the only one, the first time. Last season was the first year that an NHL, the Stanley Cup, was won with a $10 million guy on their roster. So there it is. You can do it because why wouldn't you? You look at the Leafs. I know you're not a Leafs guy by any means, but the Leafs are kicking themselves in the pants right now by letting Zach Hyman go to Edmonton, and he's making, I think, $6 million, and Mitchie Marner's making 10.5 and doesn't do a damn thing. Pouts, right?
Well, right, and you got that fucking guy, the D man in Edmonton, making 8.5. Nurse,
you know what, and that's not.
And his it's not his fault, but he's
somebody offered the money. He's about a $3 million to $4.5 million defenseman.
Right.
Someone said 9. He said, yeah, sure. I think what happened there, somebody forgot to put 3 at $3 million, not 3 at 9.
Yeah,
the equation was wrong in the contract. What happened? Because he's a $3 million, $4 million guy, and that's it.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, but it seems to me that a competent GM who's a scouter of talent can make a team, a $5 million goalie, and then everybody else your top player is 6.5.
Maybe that's something to try. If I got some time, maybe I'll go through a
capgeek.com.
I'll go to Cap Geek, and I'll break down everybody under $5 million. And then, okay, so they got $90 million. You got $90 million to spend, or 87.5, whatever it is, and make a team of everybody $5 million and under. But I'll spend $6 on a goaltender, a $6 million goaltender, and then everybody else below that. And my goalie's my highest paid guy. what can I do with that kind of with that kind of money? I'll bet you have a pretty good fucking team.
Yeah, that would be a fun thing to do if you have the time. Make the spreadsheet, and we can talk about it. And
oh fuck, I don't know if I can get that.
Well, just send it to me.
I'd have to learn how to make a spreadsheet. Right? Jesus Christ.
You know how to do that.
No, I don't. I really don't. No. Microsoft Excel is not my friend. It's not. Anyways.
I don't know how to fill them out. I don't know how to craft them.
Yeah, there you go. The 1420 Sports Bar Podcast. For beer, sports talk, and a whole lot more. This segment is brought to you by SeatGeek.com and the SeatGeek app. Use promo code 1420pod at SeatGeek.com today and save yourself $20 on your first purchase over there at SeatGeek. Dave, go take a peek.
Get your Rose Bowl tickets. Go blue.
Go blue.
Sparking.
Are you thinking of going to a game or a concert in the coming days ahead, or do you already have tickets and want to upgrade where you're sitting? It's simple. Go to SeatGeek.com or the SeatGeek app.
The 1420 Sports Bar Podcast. For beer, sports talking a whole lot more. Dave's dog is barking, so we're going to hit pause here. We'll come right back at you.
They have tickets for all sports going on right now, as well as concert tickets to shows throughout North America. And to make things even better, use promo code 1420pod. That's 1420pod, and receive $20 off your first purchase. Once again, that's promo code 1420pod at SeatGeek.com or the SeatGeek app.
Dave shot his dogs. We're back live on air here. No, not a bit. He didn't shoot his dog. He wouldn't.
Can you hear them through my headphones?
I could hear. Yeah, I could hear your dogs. I thought you were gonna. You don't want to wake up the neighbors there in beautiful South Lethbridge, Alberta. So I thought we'd take a little pause, but apparently Kaylee and Jasper went and kicked the dog to make him shut up there. But we didn't kick dogs. It's not what we do here. The dog saw something in the backyard, didn't like it, so that's why he's barking. Usually the dog doesn't bark. So he's curious. Let's just squash those rumors right off the bat here. Anyways, Dave, earlier on this week, the NBA, their in-season tournament, which I've never really understood because I'm not a big NBA guy by any means, but they had their in-season tournament. The LA Lakers won. And I find this to be funny. They're going to put a banner up in the Raptors at the .com arena, the crypto.com arena, besides all those the Kobe-led championships, the Shaq championships, the LeBron championship, and then the Magic Kareem championships. Now they're going to put a in-season tournament banner up in those rafters. To me, without knowing a whole bunch about that tournament, that is an embarrassment to put that up in the rafters.
Do you know what I thought was more embarrassing? It came across my Twitter feed the other day. After they won that quote unquote championship in-season tournament game, LeBron came through and he did the Evgeny Malkin. He was spraying champagne in the fucking locker room with nobody else. Like he's obviously in on the cut to make this thing because he wanted his teammates to party with him. What the fuck are we partying about? Like, what the fuck? I do understand what the NBA is doing to try and make their regular season a little bit more meaningful, but they've already diluted that by putting these play-on games. So you can be in 12th place and then play into the playoffs and stuff like that. So they've diluted the regular season as much as they could. They also dilute the regular season because they allow and it's the players' right to have maintenance days and who the fuck cares? But now they're going to try and make people care about games in November and December by doing this fucking garbage tournament.
It did.
Stupid. Fuck, I hate the NBA. I hate the NBA.
But in the NBA's defense, it did serve its purpose because even though I wasn't watching and you weren't watching, it did get a lot of press. The NBA usually starts on Christmas Day with it. That's when they really kick things off and it really gets going. And there was a lot more NBA talk on with all the talking heads on all the sports networks, and it's on some podcasts here and there that I listen to on a daily basis. So it did serve its purpose by increasing and NBA will perpetuate that, talk about it. So the fandom did come up on it, but the NBA will say, talk about this, please, and we'll give you $1 million, however it works, right? But I just find it odd that you have this in-season tournament. You have to offer more money to these players to win, which in like they're really actually just regular season games. And then the NHL had a situation, not a situation, but they announced this week that they were going to they've changed the skills competition, the All-Star game, which I think is it's been a farce for a long time. Since I was a kid, the All-Star game hasn't been a damn thing for a very long time. But now that they've wanted to get more interest from the players and more buy-in from the players to come around, because Crosby and Ovechkin have been skipping it for years, just because the regular season means a lot more to me, and which I understand. I totally appreciate that. But when the NHL has to offer $1 million to the winner of the skills competition, and then the NBA has to offer more money to these guys who are making, the NBA makes a lot of money, those players do. When they got to offer more money to these guys to take interest in regular season games and events that they should be honored to be a part of, and events that they should be happy to be in a league that they're fortunate to be in. When these leagues have to offer these guys money, I think that's an absolute fucking farce that they have to offer these fucking prima donna cocksuckers because I remember back when, like in the 80s, Dave, like when those guys were making all-star teams, they were happy about it. And the Campbell Conference and the Wales Conference, those were fucking battle hockey games. Like it was a thing. And the All-Star game in baseball was the same way. Now we're taking away from your precious off days. Fuck off. It should be an honor and a privilege to play in that game, because it's an honor and a privilege to play in that league. And if you're one of the best, that should be in the contract. That should be in the players agreement, the general players agreement. Not whether it's in every contract, I don't know. But when you are signing an NHL contract or an NBA contract, you play every fucking game unless there's something actually wrong. And if you get chosen for an all-star game, you're fucking going. And if you don't, fuck 10 games. We'll hit you in the wallet. I think it's an absolute joke. We got to give these guys more money to do something that's an honor and a privilege to do.
I think it's great that the NHL is doing this for prize money for the skills competition. But on the other side, go fuck yourself. Fuck you. I'm one of the best in the league. You make money hand over fist over me. I know you're paying me a good money, but you want me to make you more money without me getting paid this weekend? I understand it's an honor. I understand it, but me not coming to there is not getting me any closer to the Stanley Cup, and it's not getting me any closer to the Hall of Fame. So why don't you go take that fucking fistful of $500 bills and shove it up someone else's ass, because I don't fucking need it. Go fuck yourself. Like, I don't understand this. You're an all-star, you're not an all-star, and then you want me to come there and prance around like a fucking pony and shake the hand of Bridgestone and shake the hand of Tim Hortons and kiss a couple babies and then skate around the ice in a fake competition on a 3-on-3 tournament? Fuck you. This isn't real hockey. I'm here for the Stanley Cup, and that's the only reason I'm doing this fucking shit. And this is the reason you're paying me money is for a Stanley Cup. It's not for an all-star competition. So if I don't want to come to the all-star game and you want me there, then fuck your hat. How does that rub you?
Well, I agree. Like, I agree with the Stanley Cup thing, but I also don't like without I think the All-Star game now is a joke, and I think like I said that in my earlier little diatribe there, that I think it's an absolute fucking travesty the way that game's turned out, because it's such a corporate event. It means nothing. Like, it used to be on a Wednesday night mid-season in fucking February, and it was a one-day event, and the game was over. Go back to fucking Long Island and play on fucking Thursday. Like, you'd have a 3-day All-Star break, and that was it, right? The Campbell Conference Wales would play each other, and that was it. Go back to work. Right.
So 90% of the league gets a fucking long weekend, and I gotta fly and play and then come back and meet my team someplace else. How's that fair to me?
It's not like they're working hard. It's not like they're working hard by any means, right? And nobody watches it anymore, other than the people in, like, if it's on, I will flip it on, like, for the Saturday afternoon thing. But it comes nowhere near the airwaves at my place ever. So the only people that actually get anything out of this thing are the networks get advertising rights. The NHL might get a couple of bucks, and then the city that hosts it. It's not a big event.
But you just finished shitting on the players that don't want to come.
But the thing is that when you sign an NHL contract, I think you should be obligated to go to an NHL event when you're a superstar to grow the game. Because if you without that, you don't have the paychecks you're getting, and the paychecks are not coming from the fucking fans who pay the tickets. They're not.
The All-Star game isn't growing the game.
The NHL is not a gate-driven league. It's a fucking league that has to make money from the fucking TV revenue, and whatever TV revenue. Because, and I agree with you, the All-Star game the All-Star game is not growing the game, but the All-Star game is putting. When I think it's NBC who has it, I don't give a fuck who has it, but they're paying money to the National Hockey League, to the owners. That's what's paying these players' salaries. So I think there is a bit of an onus there for the players to because it's not putting fucking 18,000 or 15,000 or whatever it is. The 12,000 people go to the game in Winnipeg aren't paying the salaries of those fucking players. They're not.
And NHL is the most gate-driven league in of all the Big Four. Right, like, and when we say Big Four, I always kind of
I agree with you. Like they use more of that money because there isn't as much TV money.
Yeah,
I agree with you.
Fuck the NHL game is so played and
it's horrible.
It's awful. 3-on-3 hockey and pawn hockey. Like no hockey fan watches that. It's just on. There's no ratings there.
I don't think it's too much to ask the stars of the week of the league to go and showcase their league.
Oh no, fuck off. No, I have no problems with anyone wanting to skip that. I would rather it be just like honestly all rookies. I would rather it be just a showcase for rookie talent. Like no one like it's 5 years of experience in the league and less. I would rather even like the AHL, CHL, whatever, like the rookie leagues, East versus West. I'd rather they do their all-star game on there because then you're going to look at progress. Not progress. You're going to look at prospects, and you're going to look at kids that want to impress people. I think that would be a hell of a game. A 5-on-5 minor league thing and college, like whatever. All prospects, like whatever, 20 games of NHL experience and less, right from thing to WHL. You could bring anyone you want. That would be a hell of a game. That would be fun to watch. But like having this 3-on-3 joke fucking prospect, it's garbage. It's garbage. It's not a good product. And I don't understand. Like everybody's like talking about the All-Star games. The NFL All-Star weekend is a fucking joke. The NBA is
the Pro Bowl's actually the worst one of the bunch. It doesn't even resemble. It doesn't even resemble at all what the game actually is. That's the worst
and they
one of the
don't
bunch.
do it anymore. And they did like NBA is pretty awful. It's ridiculous. The NHL like they can't. The NHL, the NBA, and the NFL can't do proper games because any kind of game you want to showcase can't be played by the rules and the conditions that it's supposed to be played at, and then it becomes laughable. The only one that's even that's remarkably close is the Major League because you're throwing and hitting. There's no contact, right? And even that is like, who gives a fuck? So let's put these fucking all-star weekends to bed. And let's not give fucking players shit for not wanting to come because it's a waste of their fucking time.
I know, Dave. I agree. Put them to bed. I agree. I 100% agree that
then put it to bed.
I put it to bed. Don't have them. Don't have these in-season turn. I totally agree with you. I completely. But if they're on, I think there's an obligation because these guys are sleeping on fucking mountains of cash. I think it's their obligation to promote the league when the league says, you know what, can you promote the fucking league to give you all this fucking.
How is that promoting the league though?
Because there are sponsors who pay for it. Sponsors pay for this shit.
Ah, fuck you. Not on my dime. No, like if I'm Sid Crosby, I'm 38 years old. You don't think I want to fucking sit in the spa and watch a couple
Well,
of
the thing is,
seasons of
he
The
doesn't. He
Office?
goes and plays hockey because he's such a hockey.
Well, he does
That's
everything.
things, right?
You know, I like Sid Cosby, but but you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think I understand what you're saying when you say, like, you know, they owe their living and they owe their livelihood and they're living a very good life because of the opportunity the league has given them. But when you want to get brought out like a fucking circus pony,
no, and like the
and
skills,
that's what they want them to do.
like the NHL skills competition when it first came out, there was the hardest shot, fastest skater, goaltender. They had the 4 targets, bing, bang, boom, done. But then they started getting fucking all the interns involved. Well, let's make it prettier. Let's do this. Let's do this. That's when it got stupid. The magic tricks and the things and the trick shots. Like, do what hockey people like. And you correct me if I'm wrong here, because I've always thought that the NHL has always tried to get out of the little brother. It has little brother syndrome, or the redheaded stepson syndrome, where they try to get above what they're going to be instead of just, you know what, this is what we are. We're going to pander to this crowd, this fan base. They try to they've always tried to become NBA light by having the stars become the thing, right? Whereas the hockey players are, you know, some are from small. It's different now than it was 10 years ago, where like the NHL has really tried to promote the players more than the game for what it is. Hockey's rough and tumble and this and that. It's not 360 spinorama, slam dunk over the net and Michael Jordan bullshit. The NHL it's what it is, and the NHL's always tried to over promote themselves instead of being a streamlining it and say let's pander to the crowd that knows us, because it's still for all intent and purpose, it's still a pretty fringe sport in most United States.
It's ridiculously fringe, yeah. Like it's so regional, right?
So they try to do too much with what they have. At the end of the day, it's still fucking 5 guys and they skating around, bumping into each other, score a goal. You don't know that you can't see their face because there's masks on fucking half the guys. So why try to promote something that's not what it is? Because that's not what the game of hockey is. And they lose on the second part of that by not pandering to their fan base. The NHL actually loses fans by doing things that the NHL isn't. No, like
I haven't. Yeah, you know, like I'll tune in every now and then, but the skills competition, like it's a skills competition. If you've seen one skill competition, you've seen them all, right? It ain't no big thing, and it's cool.
I'll tell you what, if there's a spring training game on, I'll watch the spring training game first.
Right, because that's an actual game against people that are trying to.
And I'm ready for baseball season, and on it goes.
You know, any kind of all-star game, like skills competition, you know, Battle of the Network Stars. I'd way rather watch Daisy Duke get dunked in a dunk tank than
Suzanne
see how many
Summers and what was her name? Joyce DeWitt against fucking
Janet from fucking.
You had the CBS stars against the ABC stars against the NBC stars. Now that was must-see TV.
I would way rather watch those guys run a 40-meter dash than see how Patrick Kane can hit targets in a thing. Right?
Because you see the first guy shoots, and all right, and then it's having the hardest shot competition. It all looks the exact same. That guy shot 104. It's the exact
same thing, and they're gonna tell it's the exact same thing every single time. Ooh, oh, hooray!
105. All right,
yeah. You know, but you know, let me see fucking Mr. Welcome Back Carter against David Hasselhoff do a kayak across a pool. Now that's entertainment. I wish they had Battle of the Network Stars.
Well, now you have Netflix, and you don't know what fucking network it is anymore. There's so many of the fucking things.
Oh, I'd love to see Battle of the Network Stars again.
I bet you if you YouTube that, it's the fucking least entertaining thing on the planet. Like looking back, like right now we're watching Poetic. I'll bet you if you turned it on tonight, you'd be like, "Oh, yeah, this isn't very good."
I bet you it's better than an NHL All-Star game or something.
I agree. I agree. It's time for that just to be put to passion. Give everybody the weekend off. Like
do something else. Like do a recognition thing and but what are you doing here anymore? The players don't want to be here, and you have your outdoor games, which are good, and then that's a corporate glad-handing event, and the players are actually excited to play in it, and the home crowd,
too, right?
Right, and the home crowd is energized and they want to be a part of it. An all-star game, who gives a honest fuck? Like I could, you find me a player, a coach, a manager, an equipment manager. You find me one person that gives a single fuck about that, and then I'll retract everything I just said.
Let's go back to 25-year-old Dave. He is a NBA All-Star. He's just won himself a fucking championship with the LA Lakers on the in-season tournament team with the Los Angeles Lakers and LeBron James. You show up at 1139 Lakeland Crescent, Lethbridge, Alberta. Are you wearing that championship ring? And are you bragging about that championship?
It's in my pocket. If you guys want to see it, I'll show it to you.
I mean, no, we won 4 in a row. I don't know. The NBA, fuck. It's my mom my mom has it. Like, I think.
Yeah. Do you want me to bring it? Like also, who invited me? Yes. And I'll even broach it. Like, do you want me to bring the ring? I don't give a shit.
Like, I'm not bringing it up.
Yeah.
And I'll put it
in my pocket.
I say, if you really want to go see it, my mom would love to see you guys again. Go visit mom, and then we'll see how many people actually want to see that ring.
Yeah, that's what.
Mom has it. She'll make lunch.
Let's put some shit on the smoker. But
it's at mom's place. So that's what it is. That's the only way anybody would ever hear from me winning an in-season tournament because we won 4 games or 5 games or whatever it was.
The one thing I did read about this in-season thing, as criminal as it is, so LeBron is making whatever his $55 million a year. There's guys making $400,000 a year on the end of the bench. So those guys, some of those guys just doubled their salary by getting that $500K.
So there's some effort there.
So from the guys that never see the bench.
Well, they might get their 2 minutes or whatever it might be, but they make $500,000. For that guy's life-changing money.
They not life-changing. They double.
Well, because some of those guys, there's a guy coming out of college or out of the D League that might take his job next week.
Yeah.
Right.
So just I don't know how the rules work, but there's when I read that, it blew me away that they can pay someone $40 million a year, but there's guys making under $500,000 a year. So the player union in the NBA has to figure this fucking out. Like the league minimum has to be at least $5 million. If you have the audacity to play fucking James Harden $45 million a year, you got to pay guys more than $1 million a year.
And you would hope that LeBron didn't cash that check and put it in his own bank account. That he might have spread the wealth a little bit.
I you know what? And I would assume, because even though I'm not a LeBron fan, he does do things. He's done a ton of shit for
everything. He's a philanthropist.
He gives back.
That's the biggest word we've used in the 1420 podcast in a long time. Philanthropist. I think I even used it in the right context.
Well, he does philanthrop. I don't think that's a word.
I don't think that's. I don't think philanthrop is a verb.
I meant the verb form of the noun. It sounds a little bit dirty, but I did mean it in a good way.
If you philanthrop,
I honestly, as much as I don't embrace LeBron, I do think he is a bit of a force for good, and and I would hope that he treats his teammates well. And I couldn't even imagine making under $1 million a year and just hanging out with LeBron. Like, does he even know the names? Like, I don't know what kind of locker room guy he is either. And that kind of makes me. I just simply don't know. It makes me wonder what it's like to be in a locker room.
That guy has made, and the amount of teams he's played for, and the amount of years he's played, and that's the thing. So, like, how many teammates has he had over the years? Does he remember them all? Does he remember fucking Jay fucking Triano? It's a Canadian basketball player that played in the 80s, but would he remember Jay Triano? He played 2 games with in Cleveland in his rookie year. Probably not.
I have no idea. And that's not his job to remember everybody he played with, right? Because
you just start running different circles, and you have like, and just so much going on. Like it's a blessed life, but the money, like his generations of his family are never going to spend it. But it can't be it's easy with the money because you can solve all the problems with money. But it can't be an easy way of life living like that. In our, like, we go to a store, we go to a bar, we go to here, whatever, fuck yeah, whatever. Like, it can't be normal. It's not normal, right? The money's not normal. The way of life isn't normal. The family life can't be normal. Like, none of it's normal. Like, I'm not crying for the guy, but it can't be Brent and Dave easy. Like, we just go there.
Oh no, it's for sure not normal. And I don't think about it all the time, but every now and then, like how does he? Because I forget what podcast I was listening to, but the guy it was a famous person. It was a WWF guy. Him and his wife brought their kids to Disneyland, and the interviewer like, how do you do that? He goes, well, we were in Canito and this, but you were in Disneyland. And he goes, well, like, you can't tell me no one recognized you. He goes, well, normally when we're with our kids, 95% of the people that recognize me, and I can tell they recognize me, they leave me alone because we're with our kids. And some people are kind of douchebags. But when you're LeBron James, you don't go anywhere incognito, right? You're a 6'7" guy that looks like LeBron James, right? Yeah. Like I imagine like
hockey players can blend in because like one, it's not the most popular sport. Because I've always said the best job to have
general as an average size.
To be an LA king. To be an LA king, you're in LA. You got tons of money, and you're hanging out with superstars, megastars, right? And so you're the 9th, 10th, fucking 12th, 50th most popular person in the city, right?
Right.
So that's the best job to have. Like you're like every LA king, not everyone, like Kopitar, maybe and Doughty, but they're just guys. Like all the fucking movie stars and executives.
Well, all the movie stars, every Laker, and every
Lakers ahead of any Clippers.
Yeah.
And then now they got Dodgers. That fucking they got that. I won't say Nomo, not fucking a long time ago. Yeah, it's you got I already forgot his name.
Ohtani.
You got Ohtani there, so he's the biggest star in LA right now. Everybody else can run around doing whatever they want, athletic wise.
And never mind all the movie stars.
Yeah. Executives and music and that.
There's shit going on. Same in New York, right?
Yeah.
But Toronto being like it is, Toronto's an international city. Like Toronto is in.
It's fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah, as an international city, like it's in the same conversation, but it's lower than Tokyo and London and New York, but it's also there in like an international city.
No,
it's a big time city on the international stage, and if you're a Maple Leaf, they know you.
I was listening to Overdrive a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, and Jeff O'Neill, one of the hosts on there, he played for the Leafs for one season. He's from Toronto. He said he found this place that a little bar just around the corner from his house, condo where he was living in. And I wish I remember the name of the place. Let's call it the Strathcona. I can't remember what it was. He says, I found this place. I go there for a couple of beers after practice every day, 4 or 5 o'clock. The regular crowd would roll in. Nobody knew who I was. He says, it was fantastic because they didn't care. They had their own problems in the world, whatever it was. He's like, it was great. He said, one day someone looked up on the TV and then looked over at me. He went, no, not me. Shook his head. And it was like, it was done. Or he said something like, no, yeah, they say it all the time.
I was just like, I see you. Like,
yeah, no, let's not do this. Let's keep it quiet. I don't want
just let me be me.
Anything else, but no, like it's crazy. Like they lead a blessed life. I don't know how we got on this tangent, but yeah, it's something I wouldn't know how I could handle it or how you would handle it. Like these guys go through. They get taught by ex-players and they have life coaches and everything else now because the money's so obscene, right? And these guys will never have to work again, like work, quote unquote, right? Like they're back in the 80s and the 70s when they had to, right? When it was all said and done, you find another job. But now these guys, they'll never know, quote unquote, once again, normal life. Like they just won't. Like it's just,
yeah, you're right. But on the same token, what do you want to do? If you're
but I guess why did you do it in the first place?
Yeah, so right? it's a different thing, right? Because when you're between the ages of 20 and 24, just trying to make your thing, making your bones, and then you sign that second contract, and now you're married, and now you have you're making more money, right? And now you're still doing your same thing and still kicking ass, but now all of a sudden you have a kid and a baby, and now you're 30 instead of your last contract, and you have a kid. And where do you want to fucking live? Because it's not about where you want to party anymore. It's not about being close to the rink. It's where you want your family to be. So I can only imagine the different.
And then hope to not get traded.
Right. And then hope to not get traded. Right. Like, so, I don't know, like in every sport, right? Like when you get a little bit older and when you're in your max money years, you actually have different things as opposed to maxing out your money. You want to have a place where your wife is going to be comfortable. You want to have a place where your wife is going to want to be with your kid because you're on the road all the fucking time. Right. And like, so like, just because it's and everything you can live here and you're a 10-minute drive. Yeah.
Everything you just described happens in 12 years. In their only years to make money.
Yeah.
Like they may end up on TV or may end up selling insurance or whatever it might be, being the figurehead of whatever company. But in general, not LeBron, he's been playing since he was fucking 12. He's been in the league for 30 years, whatever the fuck already. But in general, these guys have a lifespan of 12 years. So everything you just described happened in the only years they make actual money plying their trade. Really? Like it's
right, because like let's talk Ohtani, right? Like he's 29.
Like the rest of us have the first 10 years when you're 20 to 30 to I'll fuck around, I'll do this. Yeah, okay. And then you meet a girl and you get married and okay, well, the two of us will figure it out. And then you're 40 and okay, good. Yeah. Then you have a kid and then you're 50. Okay, well, it's time to think about this. And then you keep working and everything. These guys have 10 years and most a lot less than that. A lot less than that. Okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. Oh fuck! Now what? Like it's a great case study if you think about it. Like these guys that think that they're going to
think about our 20s, right? Like we did not give a fuck. No one had girlfriends. We were all going around. Like a couple guys did, and we know.
Footloose and fancy free.
Right? We were just like going out and doing our thing. And let's pretend we were a professional hockey team at that time, like and then this and that and this and that and then like, okay, now we're 26. We gotta dedicate. We gotta commit to 4 more years someplace else. And then, but like, I got a girlfriend now, and you got a girlfriend now, and they're like, "Oh, so what are we gonna do?" Well, if the girl wants to follow me to this city, she can follow me to this city.
She wouldn't follow us.
Well, as a professional athlete, I couldn't imagine. I could not imagine that you have an agent in a year, and you have and these are just young, crazy alpha boys
making all their life decisions in the first 6 years of being an adult.
And being able to do everything they want to do. They can buy the best car they want to go to. They can take their boys to the club they want to. They can go to Mexico. They can go to Hawaii.
MasterCard, American Express, whatever. MasterCard, they don't give a fuck when you get told to go to pasture.
When it's off season, I got 4 weeks. We are going to party, and then I got to get back and start fucking working out.
Then I get cut, and then what?
And then what?
Then what? Because I talked about this like when we had that this kind of went a little bit deep, but it's good though. When that rash of suicides was happening back 2010, I think it was, with the tough NHL guys, everything else, and there was some situations like Wade Belak, and there was a number of them. Like there was like a lot of
those tough guys were losing their lives.
Those tough guys losing their lives and everything else, and there was the Ripien kid out in the Crow's Nest Pass there, and he. One of the things that I know some of the guys that he ran with out in the past, and they were saying like he had some talks with some of his friends. He goes, "Fuck, man, it's tough because I'm playing with guys." Because he was with the Rangers for a cup of coffee there. I'm hanging out with guys who fucking have $90 to $100 million in the bank, and so that pressure where I don't. But you try to keep up with the Joneses and things like it. It's a lot because you get that first contract, that rookie, and this is a top line contract. You pay off your mom's house, and you buy a boat and a car and a truck, and you buy your own house, and there's nothing left, right? Like really, there's nothing left. And then escrow happens and taxes, and you pay your agent, and then I still got to go next year, and I gotta go to the rookie meal, and I gotta do this and that, and like Bedard's a different because he's got his sponsorship deals, but most of those guys don't get that. Like most guys, most guys don't have that, and before you know it, like that, they have a 6-year earning potential, and there's nothing left. Because you buy, like I said, you pay off your parents' house, a house, a boat, and a car.
Right, and never mind your agent fees, right, and this and on and on it goes. And taxes, right, depending where you're cashing your checks. Yeah. Checks.
No, it's quite insane. Like I mean, I would have done it. Like I would have given it a shot and everything else. Not.
Well, why not? Like because it is there, but like there's so much.
There's so much more. There's so much more to it. Because in the off season, now you're paying your trainers because now there's no off season anymore, right? You're always skating and this and that.
Right. You have a staff, right?
Like you don't go to training camp to get in shape. It's not the way it is anymore.
I gotta imagine like an average NHLer or like an average NHLer, like I'm talking mid range. I'm talking. I don't even know who I'm talking about. Darnell Nurse. Well, he's making too much money, but I gotta guess he has like a $150,000 budget for an image consultant,
trainer, chef,
a trainer, and this. Like, and that's just a simple guess, and this is your life now, right? Like, do you get where is your time? Where's your time with your wife, with your kid, with what you want to do aside from playing hockey, right? I don't know. And I think this is the problem with a problem.
These guys get put on such, and I think that and I do think it's a problem, David. And I'm glad you worded it that way. I do think it's a problem now that there's a lot of parents who, and we go and going back to this, but I think that there's a problem now with parents who put these athletes on such a pedestal, and the money is at such an elitist level now, and the pedestal's so high that you forget that sometimes that at the end of the day, there's that 18-year-old kid who's still just a little boy. right? And
who hasn't figured anything out?
Hasn't figured anything out.
Spoon-fed his entire
and all of a
thing.
sudden he's playing in Chicago and he's playing over here and
going to bars and meeting girls and
when he's not
figuring
supposed to
shit
be
out.
and everything else, and Jesus Christ. And like if they were at home, being an apprentice mechanic, the mom and dad be like, what the fuck are you doing? You're not doing that. You know what I mean?
Can you afford it? Like, that's on your own dime. But now with now that
even if they can afford it, mom and dad, if they're, what are you doing getting home at 4 a.m, right? Like, what are you doing? You have class tomorrow morning. What are you doing? You're under my roof. You're not doing that. So now these parents are sending their kids to God knows where when they're 18, 19, 20 years old, and with $500,000 in the bank. Like there's no wonder things kind of go sideways. Like there's no, like it's on, like why it's a surprise to people that there's these fucking head cases throughout sports at a young age. It shouldn't be a fucking surprise, because if somebody gave me or you fucking that much money when we were in our heyday running around this fucking town, we'd be dead. I don't know what dead, but you know what I mean.
Well, we made bad decisions living paycheck to paycheck, right? Because that's what you did in your early 20s. I don't know if everybody did, but
everybody did.
Yeah, we weren't going into debt, but like we didn't. Yeah, we had our party money, and we definitely spent our party money. And we were there, and we were being stupid, dumb kids making bad decisions, and thank goodness that no one got killed or ended up in jail. Like, honestly, like there was nights where we made really bad decisions, and we were lucky enough that no one got killed or ended up in jail.
Yeah.
And that's it.
But that happens with these kids a lot. And it's hockey, baseball, football, basketball. It's not even anything. It's every sport. There's kids who are making too much fucking money at a young age because they have too much money. They're doing the same thing we did when just with more money.
And and nicer places with better looking girls.
Well, I don't know. There was one that was fucking one place, not a girl.
There's a goose in every bar, right?
There's a Christmas goose right around the corner in every bar. The Christmas goose is coming up. Anyway, so that was a good little segment there. We got pretty deep about different things. That was good.
Yeah, we went off the side, but I enjoyed it.
I don't know how we started that conversation. I don't know what we're talking about.
But I just don't like. Yeah, I would have no idea what it's like to be 21 years old, a professional athlete, with the world at my feet, and everybody's going to tell me yes. But all I got to do is work out and play.
Let's say if Jasper became a fucking prospect, like a highly touted prospect. I'm not saying he's not going to. I'm just saying I'm just hyperbole, obviously. What would, when Jasper is going to Louisiana State University as a pitcher, and he's already got agents in his ear, NIL money coming in, and your kid's got a good head and shoulders. He's scared of his mother, and that's good. What would Kaylee say to Jasper as she puts him in the Subaru to go way down south? What are the words that Kaylee's saying to your boy as he leaves home for the first time?
I love you. I trust you. Don't disappoint us.
Perfect. Put that in the, because that was always one thing when I fucked up with Steve, it was this that look and the head shake, that was the worst.
Mm-hmm.
If he got mad, I was like, oh fuck, whatever. But when it was like, oh, you fucking idiot, he never said anything. He was like, Jesus, man. That's when I knew. That's when I knew he was mad. So don't be disappointed, and that's good parenting, right? That's good parenting.
Yeah, we trust you. Go ahead, do your thing, and make us proud, right? Like, and that's all you can say, and that's all you can do, because at the end of the day, it blows me away that the kid is 13 years old already right now. It seems, even though you and I have only been doing this for 3 years. It seems like when we started, he was 5, right? Like, it's just
a lot.
like as a dad, right? He's the boy has a bit of a deep voice now, and
he doesn't talk like this so much anymore. Yeah,
no, he has a deep voice, and he's a good kid, and I love him to death. And obviously, him and I, like, he's 13. You're gonna fight with your. We had a fight tonight, and we worked it out. Well, no, when we say a fight, he's just like, you're gonna lose that fucking snarky tone, boy, and then. And then we talked it out. We go for walks, and that's a good thing. Him and I go for we walk the dog together, and and we talk, and it's a good thing. It's a thing I love to do with my son on a daily night. We don't get to do it every night, but it's nice.
There's sometimes like when you go for the walk with dad or whoever, and like I do, like with Deanne sometimes, like we go for a walk, and sometimes silence is golden.
Yeah, and because there's nothing else to do, right?
But just
there's no one's watching a game, no one's on Twitter.
We've aired our grievances. Now we're walking. Yeah. We're good, right? Then you get home. It's just good. You're like, okay, good. Yeah, good. Okay, good. Yeah, it's crazy. Anyways, the 1420 Sports Bar Podcast, 4 Beer Sports, talking a whole lot more. As always, brought to you by SeatGeek.com, the SeatGeek app. Use promo code 1420pod over there at SeatGeek.com today. Christmas time. Make sure you guys check out our sound guy, our producer over there on Spotify. Save You, his newest single up there on Spotify. Jimmy Valentine, Jimmy Schmorn. He will be playing it live at my house 1 week tomorrow. So make sure you guys go and check that out.
I would love that YouTube. Oh, the 1420 YouTube live concert with Valentine and then you.
We might as well just talk and do it. And we'll laugh and it'll be.
We might put that one on OnlyFans.
Mariah Carey will have nothing on us on the Christmas season after we get fucking rocking and rolling. Anyways, the 1420 podcast, 4 Beer Sports, talking a whole lot.
You are never too old or too cool to show support for your favorite team. Fans Edge, who's an affiliate of Fanatics, has everything a sports fan could possibly be looking for. From hats to apparel to giftware and memorabilia, Fans Edge is the place for you. With hassle-free returns, free shipping on order over $100 in Canada, and free shipping on all orders in the continental United States, Fans Edge makes it easy to get what you want when you want it. Just click on the link on our Twitter and Facebook accounts, and that will take you directly to our Fans Edge affiliate pages, and you can start shopping. Every time you purchase something from there, it supports the 1420 Sports Podcast, as we get a percentage, and that's a good thing. So go to Fans Edge today for all your fan gear needs.
The 1420 Sports Bar Podcast, 4 Beer Sports, talking a whole lot more. Dave, the fat man, he's packing up. Well, he's not doing it himself. He's getting other people to do all his dirty work. He's getting all fattened up, ready to go on his year-long trip. NORAD's getting ready to tour around the thing now. They've gotten used to tracking Otani, who wasn't actually going to Toronto, but so one of those things. So NORAD's got their satellites all set up. Dave, there's a lot of Christmas wish lists out there that for kids and people of all ages, but I thought we would do something a little bit different tonight for our maybe our second to last show before the Christmas holidays, before it all comes to fruition here. But have a Christmas wish list for sports fans across the nation, across both nations. We got a lot of listeners in the United States and in Canada. Let's give. I thought we would do 3 or 4 different. What should be on Christmas wish lists for each team, or what we would put on in Santa's slate to deliver to to fans across the world. If that makes any sense, I know I'm rambling a little bit. I've had a couple of beers, so it happens. But what is on your wish list for sports fans across North America or around the world for Santa to deliver on Christmas morning?
Well, you sprung this on me, and I like it. I like this premise quite a bit. So, like, the first one is just going to be an easy one, and you know what? I'm going to give it to the highest paid athlete of all time. I'm going to say, hey, Shohei Ohtani, I'm going to put this in your stocking at 1420. DM us. We'll have you on this podcast anytime you want. There's your Christmas present, Shohei. I get it. You get $700, but an open invite to 1420.com for a 20-minute conversation, not an interview. We're not going to try and do anything. You can come to us, and then that's your Christmas present.
have one of those Sapporo beers and everything else. Have a BS. We'll talk about nothing. See how things are going. See if you're moving across the city. We're not going to interview you. You can ask. Actually, you know what, Otani? You can ask us questions.
Yes.
Ask whatever you want.
That's it. Yeah, or have your interpreter ask us questions.
Take the pressure off of you for once. Just sit back, relax. Have one of those Sapporo beers, whatever it might be. Have a Bud Light. Have whatever it is you're drinking out there. Have a glass of wine. Come over to the sports bar. Have a talk with us.
And we will not ask you one question about baseball.
Nothing about contract. Nothing.
We're not going to ask you about your personal life. We just want you for 15 minutes. Here's your coupon. It's going to expire, so don't get too cocky, Shohei. Not everybody gets this.
You know when it expires? When he's hitting 238 with no home runs for the first 3 weeks as a DH. That's when that expires.
So we'll see you in
spring training.
We'll see you in August. Well, not August. We'll see you in June.
There we go.
So there's my first Christmas present, Otani. We'll tag you tomorrow. Anytime you want to redeem that, we won't talk about baseball 1 second.
I'm gonna piggyback that one. I was just gonna be my third or fourth one for the night, but this one goes to all baseball fans. I really want to see some kind of a scandal with Dodgers president of baseball operations. I think it's what's his name, Adrian Freeman. To have some kind of a scandal to see if Otani will actually opt out of his contract, because that was one of the things he could opt out on if Freeman was out of the Dodgers situation. That I actually want to see for all baseball fans across the world, for Friedman to commit some kind of scandal where the Dodgers have to fire him, where Otani's going to go, yeah, I'm out. Because it says right in the contract. I want to see that actually happens. That's for baseball fans, right? For sports fans across the world.
How's that a Christmas present?
Just to be fun to watch.
Oh, for you. Okay. I don't have anything to add to that because I really don't know.
Do you think he would do it?
Transpire.
Do you think Otani would actually opt out? Because apparently the Giants have the same deal right on the board.
Yeah, but then do you opt out and I don't know, and we talked off air, right? When you have that kind of money laid in front of you, it's where do you want to live? We talked earlier on the podcast, right? It's where you want to live and what you want to do between the ages of 28 and 38 is a lot different where you want to live and do from the age of 19 to 25. It's a totally different. You're a totally different man at those points, and so I don't know. You'd be. So you're saying you'd be more third flurry than Mike Judge?
Aaron Judge.
What did I say? Mike Judge. Oh, Mike Judge was
Mike Judge, the comedian, isn't he?
The Beavis and Butthead guy. But nonetheless,
I know. I think I would have wrapped my shit together before I got to Flurry stage. Actually, you know what? I think
you're so busy being good, you don't have trouble.
I think that you guys would have actually sat me down and said, "Fuck, man," and that's all you would have had to say. All right, you're right. Moose would have punched me in the face. Punch me in the face.
Smarten the fuck up.
Quit it.
You're fucking this up.
All right, quit it.
All right.
If you don't quit, I'm going to punch you again. Okay, good enough. Because they would have hurt. Yeah, they would have hurt. You're up next, Dave.
I'm up next. This is my gift, my Christmas gift to Connor McDavid. You get a trade. Go to any team you want. Close your eyes, go to sleep, wake up, and you're on the team you want to be on. You're out of Edmonton. You don't owe those motherfuckers a fucking thing.
Where does he go?
I would think it would be, if I was Connor McDavid, New York Rangers.
As Tampa Bay just scored, take the lead right there on Connor McDavid's Oilers. Yeah. Fuck.
Would you leave Edmonton?
Oh yeah.
Why not? Go to New York. You got a money goaltender. You got a good D-man. You got a good support cast. And to fucking win in New York, to be the king of Manhattan.
You're a legend, man. You're a legend. Not that you wouldn't be in
Well,
Edmonton.
for a while, right? Like,
Yeah.
but you get a hobnob with the elite. Look at fucking Henrik Lundqvist. He didn't win shit, but he gets a hobnob with the elite.
Yeah, like I'm obviously a Jeter guy. He ain't the most handsome fellow out there, but he did pretty good. He did his Rolodex was pretty good. You know,
it's not like
right?
Connor McDavid is a Tom Cruise either, right? Like so. But
Jeter's much better looking than McDavid. There's no getting around.
Yeah, but I'll agree with that. Jeter's better looking than McDavid, but he's equally good looking as Messier. Could you imagine being the cock of the walk?
Well, like Messier was. Like Messier was like in '94. Messier was the cock of the walk there.
You bet he ruled that town for a little bit.
Yeah, no, I agree. No, yeah. If you get out of jail, not jail, because he's still making good money. As the Oilers are playing better hockey and they're losing right now.
The money's not going to change.
Yeah,
but he's rid of a fucking shitty owner, a shitty GM.
They're getting goalie tonight. They're out shooting Tampa 46-21. They're getting goalie. They're down 4-3 because what's Vasilevsky's just a wall there. So yeah, I got one for you.
Are the Oilers playing the Rangers tonight?
Tampa.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I got one for you. This is my gift to all Yankee fans: the inability to count to 27, because nobody outside of those ones who keep saying that the chase for 28. Nobody outside of you fucking idiots gives a fuck about the other championships that they won, and I'm a Yankee fan. So to the Yankee fans who say that, my gift to you is to lose the abacus and the inability and the ability to count to 27, because you need to shut the fuck up, because you look like an idiot year in, year out when you said we have 27 championships. You weren't alive for those, so shut up. Shut up. So that's my gift to Yankee fans who say that, the inability to count to 27.
That's awesome. That's a great thing to say, because it's the exact same thing that we always say to every Montreal Canadian fan. Like, the history. Well, my granddad, my dad. Like, how many did you actually fucking see and witness? Because you know what? For Montreal Canadian fan, it might have been like now 3. For the Yankee fan, 7.
Nice run of 90s.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, I'm going to give you a bit. So anything you saw, you can say, but don't tell me fucking history. Because that's, excuse me, that's absolute fucking garbage. Lose the history. Say what you can say. And, that brings me into my next thing.
Love it.
My present to you, of all Yankee fans, Brian Cashman is fired.
Well, if he can pull out that Yamamoto deal out of, and I heard he's already basically signed with the Dodgers, but
fuck you guys. You said fire Cat. You've been saying
I want Cashman to go. You're right. I want Cashman to go. You're right. It's been
I want to give you that.
Thank you. No, I thank you very much, because you know what? It is time. It's the Belichick thing we talked about in our first segment. It's time to go. It's time to go. It's time for different blood. Time for different ideas. Just because you bring in different ideas, they're still your ideas, right? And fuck, that's the smartest thing I've ever said in my life. Just because they're different ideas, they're still your ideas. Bring in somebody new with new ideas. Fuck, that's fucking great. That might be fucking that's deep. That was deep.
But what are the ideas, right? And then
I don't know, something just different, like fucking like something. I don't know. Don't just spend $1 billion and no more Cashman. I love it. Bye. Time to go. Thanks. Bye. See you.
That's my present to all Yankee fans, and I
just cut it off. Enough.
I don't give a fuck about the Yankees. I don't want the Yankees to win. I don't cheer for the Yankees, but I want Yankee fans to stop bitching about Cashman.
The thing
Fire
about
Cashman.
the thing about the it's like having that girlfriend you keep going back to. Well, remember the good times. Hey, remember the good times.
She always answers my call.
Yeah, 2 a.m, Christmas goose, whatever. She calls and everything else. Oh, you remember the good times, and then she calls you back, and she goes,
You up?
and then she says, "You up? Yeah, I'm up. Whatever. It's Christmas. Yeah, why not?" And then before you know, it's another year, and fuck's sakes, you go to the same place again next Christmas, and she's there again. Oh fuck, there it is. And then you get and you're this close to a turkey dump, and then fuck, that was pretty fun. Yeah, fuck, we're doing it again. And Brian Cashman is the Christmas goose / turkey dump. He is. Get just close enough where you're like, you know what? Fuck.
You see him at 9:00 at the bar, and like, get the fuck away with it.
I don't want to talk.
I don't want to talk. And now it's like 12:30.
Let's negotiate.
Well, fuck. If you're gonna give me a ride home, I might as well get a ride home. And all of a sudden now,
and then at 1:30. So whose home are we talking about here?
It's tough, right? It's easy. It's easy to get gray on the edges, right?
And then you got fucking "Good Night, Sweetheart" by Sean on playing at 2 a.m. Before you know it, it's Christmas time again. Like, geez.
Where those guys go? Oh
no, Dave. Thank you for that. It's time to cut the head off the snake and see you later, Cashman. Like, I don't. Yeah, it's time to go.
That's my Christmas present to the Yankee fan. Fire Cashman.
There we go. I got one to Leafs fans. A trip to the third round, but with a caveat of when they do get to the third round, that non-Leaf fans can't keep mimicking them and making fun of them, saying they're planning the parade. Give Leafs fans, I'm not saying Stanley Cup, give Leafs fans that third round, but let Leaf fans enjoy it. That is my gift to Leafs fans.
Well, what enjoyment is there in that, right? It has to be all or nothing, really. Like, is that better for them?
Baby steps.
See, I don't know. I don't know if that's even. Well, it's not up to me because I'm a Leaf fan and I don't give a fuck, and I do not ever want to see them win a cup in my lifetime because I haven't, and that'd be kind of a cool streak to keep going because Boston fucked it up, Chicago fucked it up, the Cubs, and the Red Sox. No, I'd rather not Leaf fan. As long as they're not winning the cup. But giving them hope, I think, is a little bit cruel for you. So, yeah, whatever. Give them the third round. Just don't give them the cup. If that's your definition of a Christmas present, then give that present to them.
Well, something hasn't happened in 30 years. 30 years. 30 fucking years, man.
Is that good, though, for them? Would you rather just keep losing the kids' cup or nothing?
No.
It has to be, doesn't it?
Well, no. Like, baby steps. They won around last year, win another round this year, and then win another round. And it's baby steps. Every journey begins with a single step.
Okay, fair enough. It's better than the next, but what are you gonna do?
They're not winning this year. They got a very good
team. Sad. I don't understand. Like they're okay, but
they got a very good team. They're a top 6-7 team in the league. They're very good.
Do they give trophies for those?
They give banners on a mid-season, like for the Lakers got same kind of deal. Mid-season tournaments. You just want to roll. Here's a banner. Put it up there.
NBA is such a goddamn joke. That is the worst league in the world, and they give their players the most fucking money. Not soccer.
You put 4 fucking wins together, and you get a fucking banner at the Staples Center. The crypto does. Jesus Christ!
Hooray! And you're playing assholes that don't give a fuck. $50 million a year. Like it's ridiculous.
What happened last night with that guy from Golden State?
Oh, Draymond Green.
Draymond Green. There was a
There was a
fist swinging incident, wasn't there?
Yeah, he got suspended indefinitely. So I don't know what that means.
I saw him punch somebody and whatever. But
yeah,
he's been in trouble for quite some time.
Yeah, he likes to be like he is a tough guy as far as NBA standards goes. But all 6'10" of them, you put him against a 5'10" tough guy in the NHL, he'll last 2 seconds.
Put
right?
Brady Tkachuk, because he's the tougher one of the two. You put Brady Tkachuk. I think Brady's like 6'3". He's a big kid. You put Brady Tkachuk against Draymond Green, he fucking wraps Draymond Green up in a little Christmas bowl and puts him on top of the present and fucking tops the Christmas tree.
Right. Well, it's not even that. It's just like a jersey, and then all of a sudden you like he eats 6 punches.
Yeah.
Before he even knows what happened. Right.
Do you have what do you got? What do you got left for us? We got you got one more Christmas present, or do you got a who is better?
I got one more Christmas present. I'm gonna give this to all Raider fans. Mark Davis, Lloyd Christmas is what I call him.
Yeah.
I would give him the present of an actual image makeover, a physical makeover. Like, Jesus Christ, this guy's in control of $1 billion empire, and he looks like Lloyd Christmas. He looks like
I would up that a little bit, and I would put a Tommy Gunn's hair salon with a hair saloon. They think the Tommy Gunn's hair saloon. I would put one in his suite at Allegiant Stadium, and then have them sponsor the makeover. And then they can make a bunch of money off the whole thing too. I agree with you on that. That guy, how the fuck does he go? Oh, that's what I'm looking for.
And so he goes to the GM meetings and the owner meetings, looking like that. Like
he goes to fucking Subway looking like that. Jesus fuck, man.
How do you look at Jerry Jones and Bobby Kraft in the fucking face?
Tailored suits.
Silver thing.
He's wearing some Puma tracksuit circa 1989, rolling in with that bowl haircut.
How does that work? I would honestly love to have 10 minutes in his brain as he walks in and shakes hands with those guys. I just what's going through your brain? Like when he's wearing his fucking velour, fucking white sweatsuit, he's a fucking imbecile. I don't fucking get it. I don't fucking get it.
No, I agree. He's an embarrassment to the Lakers, or not the Lakers, the Raiders franchise. Like this, yeah. We need to get a 5-day makeover, something in Allegiant Stadium that he has to stay at.
Exactly, just like in Dumb and Dumber. Like what? Something. Like, how the fuck can someone that wealthy?
I always laugh
that bad.
Like you and I aren't the most handsome fellas on the planet. Like we ain't Tom Cruise by any means. We aren't ugly guys either. And we when we go out in public, we put ourselves together enough, and we're not hideous beasts by any means. But and our wives respect that, and they're happy about that. Like, okay, they look nice, good. Like I've never once come downstairs, we're going to an event, and the wife goes, "You got to go upstairs and change." I don't know who this guy's wife is, because you got to question her fucking knowledge too. There's a lot of zeros in the bank account, right? But so for this Davis character to come downstairs and his wife not send him back upstairs on a consistent basis, she's got to be a fucking idiot too.
And that fucking haircut, right? Like, because he just
all of it,
right? Like, all he ever did was was Al Davis' son. That's the only fucking thing he's ever done his entire life.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Yes, so we need a salon in the Allegiant Stadium for Bobby Kraft. That's for Raider fans. That's the last Christmas gift. We got a few. If you got any other ones out there, let us know after you guys listen to this. A lot of fun, a lot of laughs. I'm sure we might get one more Christmas gift around before the holiday season or before Christmas starts next week. But yeah, it was fun. Dave, one of my favorite things, we've been doing this for a long time, and you saw a gift down there in Montana about the Would You Rather game. What was that all about?
Well, I just thought it's a game, and like, so you know what? As much as we like to take credit for our idea, maybe it's not, because it's not a fucking game. And I saw that. I saw it. Yeah, I saw it. But I want to believe it's ours, because that's one of the things you got to prove a ripoff. Well, we can't prove that they ripped it off.
You can't prove a falsity.
Unless the developers of that game heard us say, "Would you rather?" So that's what we got to do.
We'll get our legal team on it.
Legal team, yeah. Fuck. So the
Craig
BC
next week, so we'll get him on that.
Okay, so this was a quick and easy question. It's not going to be an easy answer. So you're a retired baseball player. Would you rather have your name being as a retired baseball player be Kirk Gibson or Barry Bonds?
That's a fucking tough question. Barry Bonds to fuck me. The most home, like the numbers are there, and most home runs in baseball history. MVPs, I think he's got 3 or 4. 5 actually, I think he has. They got a few in Pittsburgh, and he's got the one or 2 in San Fran.
I think he has 4 in San Fran and 1 in Pittsburgh.
All-time great. Like, there's no getting around that. Like, he's got a great big head for some
numbers. A lot
numbers.
of fucking numbers.
Kirk Gibson, the Roar of '84,
has 2 rings.
Is synonymous with baseball in Detroit, which is a huge. It's a market that I kind of feel bad for, the way that things have kind of gone sideways for them. But and Detroit was such a Ty Cobb and everything else, and Cobb was a dickhead too. But the Roar of '84 was huge. I remember that team vividly, actually. And then you go to
Trammell and Whitaker.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Then you go to
Doyle Alexander.
Yeah. And then Lance Parrish, that black and orange glove
behind Parrish, yes.
Oh, he was great. He was great. And then you go to the Dodgers, obviously, when he won that World Series in '88, and he was the MVP that year as well.
Yeah.
Fuck, Dave. That's a tough one, because I think Bonds. Me and you argue on this all the time about the Hall of Fame, because I think Bonds is a Hall of Famer. Like, they were all doing it. Bonds just took it another level, but he was round ball, round bat. You got to hit square, and he hit square a lot. And he's one of the best baseball players to ever play the game. You can't deny that,
without a doubt.
You can't deny it, but it's tarnished because of the Belco situation.
Yeah, he was winning MVPs in Pittsburgh before he came to San Francisco.
He did not win world championships that Kirk Gibson did. And when you say Kirk Gibson, there's not a negative. There's not a negative thought. Okay, there it is. I'd rather be Kirk Gibson, because you know what? When you say Kirk Gibson, '88 Vin Scully's voice comes to mind for me, right? Instantly. There's no negativity. There's no should he, shouldn't he, this, that, and the other. Is Gibson a better baseball player? No, but I'd rather be Kirk Gibson. There's easy. That was actually, I thought about that way too much. Kirk Gibson, 100%. Zero negativity. Everyone loves him. He's got 2 different fan bases in 2 major American cities that adore him till the day he dies. Right? They adore the guy. They adore the guy. He was MVP, a lot, on and on and on. There was never any nefarious bullshit. There was never any cheating. There was never, I should say, we don't know, because who knows what Gibson? Well, Gibson was on probably cigarettes and beer back then, and so right, like I'm not wrong. And so no, Kirk Gibson's that's actually I shouldn't have overthought that. Kirk Gibson is the easy thought on that one. Easy, 100%. Kirk Gibson, and you know what? You other than like Ricky Henderson, Kirk Gibson's like there, like for me, like he's that guy. Like honestly, Gibson was a hard-nosed baseball player. Like there was no bullshit with Gibson.
You're right. You're absolutely right, and that's what I have too. And it's one of those things because when you look at the stat line, Barry Bonds is the winner by a fucking mile.
You
by
talk
a
yourself
fucking
in,
mile.
You talk yourself into Bonds in a long, drawn-out process, but then you go, no, this guy's not a dickhead. This guy's baseball. He's the history. Kirk Gibson is part of the just the 88.
At what moments did that player deliver in the moment? Right.
Gibson has that one. Like right. No matter what. And that's the thing about baseball. I was talking with someone about today. The history of baseball is about moments. And Gibson has one of those moments. And it might be like a top 10 moment with Gibson's home run. Because it was the mighty A's and the Dodgers and Eckersley and the Dodger Stadium and Vince Scully on the mic. Like that home run might be like a top 10er of all time. Honestly.
It's a moment. You're right. And that's the thing.
And does Bonds have that?
Bonds has no postseason moments. He doesn't have, for all of Barry Bonds' accomplishments, whether it be with the Pittsburgh Pirates or the San Francisco Giants, he has no postseason highlights. And I don't recall. I think Kirk Gibson was an AL MVP. And I know for a fact, he won a World Series with the Detroit Tigers. And that home run that he hit with the LA Dodgers with Lasorda is
epic moment.
It's an iconic moment. Like
the bumper nickel around second base.
You bet. And it's a guy you like to cheer for. And like I said, would you rather be Barry Bonds or Kirk Gibson? And Barry Bonds, who has the home run, quote unquote, home run record, and Kirk Gibson, who may have hit, I don't even know the number, 350. Like he's probably 200 behind Barry Bonds and Hank Aaron.
Like keep going. Sorry.
Well, it's just that. But like, who would you rather be? Who would you rather be?
You think about it. If you're sitting at fucking whatever fucking Tallahassee Joe's in City, Florida, going to a sports bar at Wings, having some beers on a Saturday afternoon. If Kirk Gibson's sitting at one table and Barry Bonds sitting at another table, and they're both welcoming, Kirk Gibson's probably going to get because there'll be people. I'm not talking to fucking Bonds. Fuck him. He cheated. Blah, blah, blah. Everyone's talking. If they were both welcoming, like I'm saying, they're both saying, "Come to my table," whatever.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to fucking Kirk Gibson. There will be people that say, you know what? Fuck Barry Bonds. He fucking took the juice, the cream, the this, the Belco. Everyone's talking to everyone. If you're a baseball fan, is talking to Kirk Gibson. With
the quote unquote home run champion sitting across the table.
Exactly.
Isn't that like
nobody dislikes Kirk Gibson unless you're a fucking Oakland A's fan. But they respect the game like baseball. Okay, baseball fans, if you're a fan of the game, you don't hate Kirk Gibson. There's a disdain with a percentage of fans who hates Barry Bonds. And
there's a line, right? And I don't hate Barry Bonds. I actually like Barry Bonds. I just think he did the base. I think he went out of his way to fuck baseball over, and
he went out of his way to be the best.
Yes.
ego, like the A-Rod syndrome and everything else. They went out of the way to be the best.
I'm way better than Mark McGuire.
When the two of them, when Bonds and A-Rod, if they would have just stayed the course, they would have still been fine.
Yeah.
Like better than fine. Yeah, it's odd. It's odd how the ego and everything else and small dick syndrome and fucking ego. Yeah, it's odd. But yeah, nobody says no to a speaking. Hey, who do you want to come speak at your high school? Barry Bonds. There it is. You want? Okay, we have two guys lined up for high school morality and legends. We have Kirk Gibson and Barry Bonds. Who do you like at your school? Ask Kaylee. Probably Kirk Gibson.
Kirk Gibson.
It's one of those things. Yeah, it's no those home like the Roar of '84 and then the that World Series run. It wasn't Gibson who did it. It was Hershiser. Like when it comes down.
No, but yeah, exactly too. And then like
but just the way it all played out, right? And just
and it's us sitting right now, and you go like, and you don't know anything about it being like say my kid. And you're like fuck. Why would you would rather have Kirk Gibson than Barry Bonds? Look at their numbers. Like,
do some reading, do some watching.
Yeah,
and that's the thing about baseball. That's the baseball. That's getting lost on the youth
because they'd rather not have the stats.
That's the velocity. Right? 100%. Barry Bonds better player. 100%. 100%.
Without a doubt.
But baseball's about moments.
Yes,
baseball's about moments and moments in time. And Kirk Gibson has a few, and Barry Bonds has some that were just record breakers, not iconic moments. Yeah. Right. Yeah. And I
agree. Yeah.
Because Barry Bonds is a better baseball player than Derek Jeter. He is.
Barry Bonds might be one of the best people.
Jeter has moments.
Barry Bonds and A-Rod could be one of the two best baseball players we've ever seen
play the game.
To ever play the game. But both of them are, well, I guess Barry Bonds is not a convicted cheater, but A-Rod is a convicted cheater. And like, there's just so much that they just needed to be better than what they needed. Where Kirk Gibson, he didn't give us a ton of moments, but he gave us fucking mind-numbing moments.
Yeah.
That Dodger home run, I'll never forget that. I'll never forget that. And I don't have a never forget that moment for either A-Rod or Barry Bonds.
Agreed. And I'm a Yankee guy. And he won a World Series with the Yankees in 2009. And I'm not an A-Rod guy. And I just whatever you do, I don't care. I don't care. I actually remember his last game when the lightning struck and he had to run out the field because of the lightning. He's like, it started pouring. It was pouring down when he was retiring. Pouring down, like, get the Yankee, like the gods across the street, the ghosts were like, get the fuck out of here. We've had enough of you. Get the fuck off and stay fucked off.
Just leave. Yeah. So it was, you don't get a proper send off. It's just like, just at least leave.
It's time to go. Anyways,
and then, but this comparison, like Kirk Gibson has no business being against Barry Bonds on any stat line. It's when you look at career stats, no business.
No, I'd rather be Kirk Gibson. Like, there's no getting around that. Like, just
I get that. I'm too.
100%. Anyway, Dave, what do you? He's getting down to the nitty gritty here. Christmas time. What do you
I can't believe it's Christmas. There's no snow on the ground here in Canada.
None. There's melting. Like the snow that was in the ground in certain places melting. A banana hammock on out back, out sunning myself. It was crazy.
Fuck! I got a Christmas party this weekend. I'm gonna wear my shorts and flip flops to it, and it's rare. It's rare that a 50-year-old, especially, has the audacity to wear some flip-flops to a Christmas party in mid-December. It's ridiculous.
Crazy.
So
it's actually crazy what's going on around here. But there's no such thing as global warming, as the orange guy says. Well, whatever, won't get into that. But anyways, the 1420 Sports Bar podcast. For bigger sports talk and a whole lot more. Take care of each other. More importantly, take care of yourself. See you around. Can you stick on the ice? What else, Dave?
I'm looking forward to see you next week with your... Stick on the ice. You bat not at high pitches, Jim. That was a little bit awkward. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, that was, I'm not sure you said it anyways.
Well, see you next week, Jim. Don't swing at high pitches, buddy.
Don't swing at high pitch. He gave it a shot. We'll talk to you guys again on Monday night.